You ever felt like you're running full speed towards your dreams, but somehow you just can't seem to catch up to them? Well, my friends, you are not alone. So in today's episode, we're tearing down the myths of overnight success and diving deep into the real journey of entrepreneurship. Look, why? Well, because it's messy. It's challenging, but man, is it so worth it? So stay tuned because we're about to uncover the secret power of small wins and how they can lead to life-changing successes. You might just find the path to your own biggest breakthrough is closer than you think. So don't go anywhere. This is one episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast you cannot afford to miss.
Hey there, audacious parents. Welcome to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast, where we're not just about surviving, we're about thriving. If you're tuning in, you're not looking for just another feel-good, pat-on-the-back kind of show. No. You're here because you're ready to disrupt the status quo. You're ready because you're here to challenge your limits and to step out of the comfort zone where we know growth never happens. This is not just your average, let's all be happy with our 9-to-5 lives kind of podcast. We're here to give you actionable strategies. We're here to dive deep into the world of side hustles, digital marketing, and smart income-boosting tactics. Why, you may ask? Because we're designed for parents like you, parents juggling family expenses, childcare, and the elusive me time. We're not just about making money, though. We're about designing a life that you dictate, not one that's been prepackaged in a soul-sucking 9-to-5 box. So, if you're ready to break free and design a life that aligns with your dreams, design a life that aligns with your family, you're in the right place. The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
What is up? What is up? What the heck is up, my Dark Horse Entrepreneurs? Welcome back to another episode that promises to be nothing short of a game changer. As you know, I'm your host, Tracy Brickman, and today we're embarking on a journey together. A journey from the smallest of steps to the most giant of leaps that you can imagine. And trust me, it's the little wins along the way that are going to make all the difference. You know, I remember a time in my life when the road ahead seemed like nothing but uphill, right? You know, you've heard those old stories. You'd ask Grandpa, hey, Grandpa, what was it like walk to school? Oh, I walked to school 5 miles each way uphill in the snow. Well, mine was a little different. I was juggling a full-time job, a side hustle, and a family. Yeah, I felt like I was running a never-ending marathon. But here's the thing. I kept going, one small step at a time, celebrating the little victories and learning, well, from the setbacks. And that, my friends, is what we're diving into today. So whether you're a parent trying to balance work and family, an inspiring entrepreneur, or just someone who's damn well tired of their 9-to-5 grind, this episode is for you. We're going to uncover the true power of persistence, the magic of small wins, and how they can lead to the success beyond your wildest dreams. So buckle up. We're about to get started. All right, let's kick things off by addressing the elephant in the room, shall we? The allure of instant success. Yeah, right. We've all seen the ads, right? Make 6 figures in your sleep. Quit your job tomorrow and live the life of your dreams. Man, it all sounds so tempting. Yeah, clickbait, if you ask me. But let's be real for a moment, shall we? I've seen far too many bright, talented individuals fall directly into those traps. They start off strong, right? Posting and blogging like there's no tomorrow, building what they think is their ultimate product. And then, they burn out, they lose steam, and they give up. All because they were chasing an illusion. But here's the kicker. Success, to me, real success, it doesn't happen overnight. It's not about the sprints. It's about the marathon. It's about consistency. It's about persistence. And yes, celebrating every single one of those small wins along the way. So, if you ever felt like you're running in circles, chasing after success that always seems to be just a little bit out of your reach, this is where you need to be. We're going to be debunking a couple of myths, sharing a couple of stories about real people, and we're going to set the record straight on what truly it takes to succeed. Stay with me, all right? Stay with me.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Let's dive into the real gold, shall we? The power of the little wins. You see, to me, in to all the folks, my peers that are out there, they know, and I want you to know, success isn't about making that one giant leap. It's about taking those small, daily, consistent steps towards your goal. Every single day, moving along. Now, yeah, if you want to take a day off, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, that's fine. But other than that, you're taking those small, consistent steps every single day. Because think about it. Have you ever noticed how most successful people aren't necessarily the ones who take the big risks, right? Who roll the big dice or even make dramatic changes overnight? No. Instead, they're the ones who show up day in and day out, completely 100% committed to their journey, no matter how small the steps that they are taking might seem. Now, I want to share a little story with you. This one is about a blogger I know. Let's call her Sarah, just because it's an easy name to remember. Sarah started her blog as a side hustle while she was still working a full-time job and raising 2 kids. She didn't have much time, but she committed to posting once a week, no matter what. So she held herself to. And it was tough, and progress was a little slow. But here's the thing. She kept at it. And as she kept at it, she celebrated every single one of the new subscribers that she got, every comment that she got, every small win. And over time, those wins stacked up. And today, well, Sarah's blog is now her full-time job. It provides for her family, and it's giving her the freedom that previously she had only dreamed of. You see, that, my friends, is the power of small wins. It's about setting those achievable goals, maintaining a steady pace, and most importantly, celebrating every single little victory along the way, no matter how small it is. So, whether you're just starting out or whether you've been on this journey for a long time, I want you to remember, success is a series of small wins. Keep pushing forward, keep celebrating your progress, and trust that every step you take is actually bringing you closer towards your goals. Let's see, we've talked about the trap of instant success, right? Those little ads we've all seen. And we also chatted about the undeniable power of little wins. Gave you a little story, gave you a little example. Now I want to shift gears here and talk about building your online empire and how it parallels to earning a college degree. Now, think back to your college days, and if you didn't attend college, think back to any long-term goal you've set for yourself. You didn't earn that degree, and you didn't reach that goal overnight, did you? No. It took years of consistent effort. It took years of late nights. And yes, it took years of celebrating those small wins along the way. So let me share a little bit of my own journey of information marketing, let's call it. When I first started, I had these visions of grandeur, thinking about I would hit it big in the next few months. But just like college, building an online business takes time. Building an online business takes persistence. And it takes a whole lot of small wins. So, what did I do? Well, I learned to focus on 1 or 2 social media channels at a time. Now, this was after a while. At first, I was focused on 3 things, right? I had this list of folks that were interested in public speaking, and I had this list of folks that were interested in personal development. Well, I was spreading myself too thin, right? I was going both of them. I built my list bit by bit, and I celebrated every single subscriber, and I found the best affiliate products for my audience. But then the magic really happened when I narrowed my focus to 1. Yeah, I learned from my failures, and I learned from my successes in doing this. And then when social media came along, I'd already learned the lesson, so I focused on 1 or 2 at a time rather than all of them. And when something new would pop up, I would control myself and wait. And you know what? Over time, all those small wins added up. I started making decent money, and eventually I built a lifestyle that allowed me the freedom and fulfillment I had always dreamed of.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
So here's my advice to you. Take your journey to building your online empire like earning a college degree. Know full well going into it, it's going to take some time. Be prepared for late nights. Be prepared for setbacks and be ready to celebrate every single small win along the way. You worked hard for it. Go ahead and celebrate it. Stay focused on your long-term goals. And remember, it's the consistent daily actions that lead to success. Remember the tortoise and the hare? Yeah, hare took off like a shot right off the line and got so far ahead he decided to rest on his laurels. Meanwhile, the tortoise, ever consistent, ever steady, won the race. So, we've talked about your journey to success, the power of little wins, and building your online empire. Now, let's go into another little personal story that I truly believe will drive home the importance of persistence in celebrating those small wins. A few years back, not quite a few years back, if I'm honest, found myself at the base of a mountain. Big stone mountain. My hiking boots were all laced up. I was ready to take on the trail. I don't know. I think it was 2,000 foot elevation climb or whatever it was. It was pretty big. Now, I wasn't in the best shape of my life. I'm going to be honest. I'm probably in better shape now than I was back then. And the hikers I were with, they were far more experienced than I. And they were, as I remember it, I'm going to try not to exaggerate too much, they were practically sprinting up that mountain. At minimum, they were speed walking. Within the first half mile, my lungs were struggling. You could say we're a little on fire. My legs felt like they were turning to jelly, and I was seriously questioning what I had gotten myself into. The pace set by my friends, the experienced hikers, seemed impossible for me to keep up. But then, what I do? I remembered the power of the small wins. I shifted my focus. Instead of looking at the daunting path ahead, I set these small, achievable goals. Look, I'm going to make it to that big tree right there. I'm going to make it to that Y in the path. That's what I told myself. And then when I reached it, took a moment to celebrate, which is a great opportunity for me to catch my breath, and I prepared for my next small goal. And you know what? That's right. I made it to the top. Sure, those experienced hikers, they got there long before I did, but it didn't matter. I still had the same $1 million view that they did. And the journey, it was all small victories. And to be honest, it was quite worth every single step. And that's what I want you to take away from this story. Your journey to entrepreneurial success is a lot like that hike. It's not about sprinting to the top like everyone else probably can because they have the experience and they've done it 87 times. It's about setting those small goals. It's about getting to the next tree, about getting to the next park bench or getting to the next Y in the road and celebrating those small victories and keeping your steady tortoise pace. All right? Whether you're just starting out or you're well on your way, the power of small wins, I want you to celebrate them. I want you to learn from them and let them propel you forward towards your next success.
The Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
Now, this is the time I love this time. I've added this to the episode here recently. I'm going to keep doing it. Just kind of dig it. This is the time in the episode where we dive into our whiskered wisdom. This is where I share a top tip with you that you can take away and apply towards your journey to success now, like as soon as you're finished listening to this podcast. And today's wisdom is all about the power of focus and determination. Here it is. Focused on that next achievable goal. Celebrate the small wins and maintain consistency. It sounds simple, and often the foundations to real success are that. They're simple, but they're game changers, right? But think about it for a moment, would you? Just pause. When you're overwhelmed with the big picture, I mean, think about it. You've got this big picture in front of you, all these big goals you're trying to achieve. It's easy to get discouraged. But when you break it down and you just focus on that next step, and then you celebrate achieving that next step and your progress, you create momentum. And momentum, my friends, that is a very powerful thing. So here's my challenge to you. After this episode, take a moment to reflect on your journey, where you're at right now, and what's the next achievable goal that you can set. How can you celebrate your small wins along the way when you achieve that little goal? And I'm not talking about something that's going to take you a week or 2 weeks to achieve. I'm talking about something you can achieve in the next 24 hours. set that achievable goal and how you're going to celebrate when you achieve that small win. Yeah. And how you can maintain the consistency afterwards, even when the going gets tough. Those small wins are definitely going to be a big help. Remember, my friends, success is nothing but a series of small victories. And when you focus on that next step and celebrating your progress and stay consistent, you're not just moving forward, you're building momentum that will carry you not just to the top, but as Zig Ziglar used to say, but over the top. And just like that, my friends, we have reached the end of another empowering episode of the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast. Today, we've navigated the journey of small steps to giant leaps and uncovering the incredible power of persistence and celebrating those crucial small wins, all while maintaining a steady, unwavering pace towards our dreams, desires, and goals. I want you to remember, success, my friends, it's not a destination. It's a journey. Success is about showing up day in and day out, embracing the process no matter how challenging it might seem. So take those small steps, celebrate those victories, big and small, and trust that you are on the path towards your greatness. Now, I want to hear from you, my Dark Horse entrepreneurs. I want to hear your stories of persistence and the small wins that have made a big difference in your journey. Let's celebrate together and inspire one another. So here's what you can do. Going down to the website, link will be down in the show notes, darkhorsentrepreneur.com. What you'll see is a small little microphone down there in the right-hand corner. Click that sucker and leave us a voicemail. Tell us your story. Tell us your challenge. Heck, ask your questions and even suggest topics you'd like to hear covered in upcoming episodes. I want to hear your voice. Your voice keeps me motivated. And if you have found any value in today's episode, I encourage you to subscribe, rate, review, and of course, share this podcast with others who might need that little extra push towards their goals. It's your support that means the world to me. And together, I think we can create a movement of unstoppable parentpreneurs out there. And even if you're not a parent, entrepreneurs out there. And with that, I'm going to leave you as I always do. Think successfully and take action.
Hey, my Dark Horse Entrepreneur parents, thanks for tuning in. If this episode struck a chord, share it with a fellow parent hustler. Let's grow our tribe that thrives, not just survives. For more insights and a community that totally gets it, join our Facebook group at www.darkhorseschooling.com/tribe. Think successfully and take action.